Hello everyone, I want to welcome you to this webinar about supplements. I'm really excited to do this and have you all learn a little bit more about it. My name is Anna Desmond. I am a teacher and this is my husband Billy Desmond, who's a firefighter, paramedic, and a personal trainer. These are our two boys, Dawson and Connor, who are now 10 and 12 years old. Billy and I are both very passionate about encouraging and educating people to nourish their bodies from the inside out. So my husband and I founded a Belief Health team a few years ago, and we have been studying health and wellness for years, and I am really excited to be sharing this content with all of you. Here is our mission. We have a common goal and passion for creating a healthier future by providing others with better lifestyles through optimal nutrition. If you have been curious about what we do, we educate and we encourage people to live healthier, happier, more productive lives through programs and online webinars and support groups. So sit up and take some notes. There's going to be lots of content to remember. And my goal today is to inspire and educate each and every one of you to have optimal health. So my first question to you is, are supplements safe? I know personally for me, I made a lot of poor choices about supplements. And it wasn't because I didn't want to have better health. I think there's just a lot of misinformation out there and I was misguided. It was more about what I looked like on the outside than what I was doing to my body on the inside. Ask yourself what supplements you take. Studies show that 50% of Americans take some sort of supplement. One of the problems is that 54% of vitamins do not even disintegrate. So we have some problems, and a lot of people would just choose the cheaper vitamin. I know I always looked for the buy one, get one free at Costco or GNC. I was just unaware of how unregulated the vitamin industry really was. So that is where I want to begin. Are supplements safe? It used to be that supplements fell under the category of pharmaceutical drugs. So just like making drugs, the FDA had to approve all supplements. They would have to prove that your product was safe and effective before you started selling it. Well, the state of Utah actually made 1/4 of all the supplements in the United States. It was a $24 billion industry at the time. And this goes back to the early 90s. So up in the top right, you see Republican Senator Orrin Hatch from the state of Utah. He decided to deregulate the industry. The supplement industry was tired of all the barriers they had to jump through to get their supplements sold. So Orrin Hatch headed the movement to deregulate the supplement industry. And it was deregulated and the FDA no longer had to scrutinize these products. So let's take a look at the ingredient proprietary blend. It is basically what the government mandated to try and protect the property owned by some of the supplement companies. What proprietary blend means that if you are within 80% of what your label states, then you are okay to sell it. So they no longer had to state what was in the bottle. They just had to claim what was in the bottle. There is a term the supplement world calls pixie dusting. What that means is that you do not have to expose the customer to what is in your formula. So you could have a capsule where the majority of what's in it is rice flour, which is really inexpensive, and then claim it to be biotin or vitamin C. So it allows you to make a product for a few bucks and turn around and sell it for 60 bucks. You're thinking, hold on a second, wait, can you really do that? Yes, you can. As long as it doesn't kill someone, the FDA is not going to close you down. So the roles have been reversed. It used to be that you had to have your products approved by the FDA, but after Orrin Hatch deregulated the industry, it has never been the same since. So now most people get their recommendations today from magazines, and these ads can pretend to do what they claim. Using Photoshop, they make you believe it can do what it claims to do, and you think it works because the images are so convincing. So they can call it something like the juice and use the term proprietary blend, and what you are really getting is a pill full of rice flour. So it is crucial when you are buying supplements that they follow GMP for pharmaceuticals. That stands for Good Manufacturing Practices. This is something that many people do not understand. Most products follow what's called food GMPs. They are only required to have about 20% of what they say is on the label actually in the tablet. So even if they follow what is known as food grade, good manufacturing practices, they are only required to have 20% of what they say is on the label actually in the tablet. Unless you take supplements from a nutritional company that follows a pharmaceutical grade, good manufacturing practices, you really have no assurance that what is on the label is actually in the tablet. Companies that voluntarily, they are not required by law to do this, produce their products in a pharmaceutical grade fashion are required to have 100% of what is on the label in the tablet. A lot of companies will slap a label on the bottle that says they follow GMPs, but do they follow food GMPs or pharmaceutical GMPs? There is a huge difference between the two. There are about 1,600 companies that exist in North America, and only a handful follow pharmaceutical GMPs and make their own product. The others are just a marketing company following food GMPs. Some of these bottles even say pharmaceutical grade or are named after a doctor to make them seem more reliable. But unless they follow drug GMPs, pharmaceutical good manufacturing practices, I would not trust them at all. So when people want to compare labels on supplements, it is completely foolish and inaccurate. Unless they follow drug GMPs, there is no proof that what they say is on the label is actually in the bottle. You have to make sure that your company follows pharmaceutical grade GMPs. This will guarantee that what they say on the label is in the bottle. So now let's take a look at, now that we know that the vitamin industry is unregulated, let's take a look at the inside of our bodies. I know that we don't think about that very often, and it will be a game changer for you once you do. How many of you actually thought about your cells today? Not many of us, but this is really important because we think about what we see, but we rarely think about what we don't see. We need to think about how healthy our cells are because this is where it all begins. It all begins at a cellular level. If you want to have optimal health, pretty hair, pretty skin or nails, you want to be fit and healthy, it has to start at a cellular level. What I have learned is that it is so important what you do today because it will result in how you feel tomorrow, 20 years from now, and 30 years from now. This is where disease starts if you do not begin nourishing your body today at a cellular level. And at some point in your life, sooner or later, your health will be your number one concern. It really is amazing what has to happen in our bodies for there to be life. Every day, our heart beats more than 100,000 times. 2,000 gallons of blood are pumped through 60,000 miles of blood vessels. In order for this to work, we have to eat. And what we eat depends on how well our bodies will work. Here is an example of some degenerative diseases. Unfortunately, many people are plagued by the leading cause of premature death. 1 in 3 people will have cancer. That means 1 out of every 3 people listening to this webinar will have cancer. 1 in 8 women will suffer from breast cancer. 1 in 10 men will suffer from prostate cancer. And diabetes is growing more and more rampant among children. So because of all the amount of highly processed and high glycemic foods we are eating today, it is causing more and more degenerative diseases. Here is an analogy of our cells. We are looking at them in a petri dish through the lens of a microscope. The cell on the left is a healthy human cell. The one in the middle is the same cell after a typical fast food meal. The one on the right is the same cell when you have antioxidants in your body. The easiest way to explain this process is when we think of an apple. After we cut an apple, if we leave it sitting on the counter, the apple will start to turn brown. That is called oxidation. The same thing happens to guacamole. Oxidation is what leads to degenerative diseases. So what do we do to that apple? We add lemon or lime to it. Most people think it is the acid in the lemon or lime, but it is the vitamin C. It is actually the antioxidants, stopping it from turning brown. So the oxidation is taking place, and the only way to prevent that is by adding antioxidants. So look again at this slide. The one on the right eats a healthy diet and takes good vitamins. It will not be as damaged as the cell lacking antioxidants. Antioxidants protect your cells from oxidation. And unfortunately, oxidation happens all the time. We cannot stop it from happening, so we need to protect ourselves. We can slow down oxidation and help protect ourselves so that we have more defense mechanisms in our body, so that we do not have as much damage to our cells. This is what leads to cancer, stroke, and heart disease. When I learned this, it was such an eye-opener. So I often ask myself, Anna, are you having a good cell day today? I know that sounds crazy, but I think to myself, am I getting the nutrients I need for my body? Are my kids getting the nutrients they need for their body? Take a look at this fireplace. The health of your cells ultimately determines the health of your life, period. I want you to think of your cells like a fire. Each individual cell in our bodies, the trillions that we have, creates ATP. That is energy for your body, cellular energy. But cellular energy creates a byproduct. When you create energy, you create heat, just like sparks from a fire. When sparks come from a fire, they can cause damage and burn little holes in the surrounding areas, on the carpet, on your clothes, and so on. So we put a shield around the fireplace to stop the damage. So we want to stop the damage the sparks might cause. We cannot stop the sparks, but we can prevent them from further damaging the surrounding areas. So there will always be oxidation, but antioxidants neutralizes the damage. Where do antioxidants come from? Well, they come from the earth. But over the last 50 years, our soils are severely depleted. So let's take a look at this slide. Isn't it beautiful? Antioxidants come from your fruits and vegetables. All of the foods you see on the screen do not have labels. They are not from a box. Their color was not injected into them artificially. This is what our bodies were designed to eat. God created these foods knowing they were filled with antioxidants and would keep us healthy and strong. I want you to focus on as many fresh fruits and vegetables as you can. So why do we need supplements? Number one, food is picked weeks in advance, and then it's shipped from thousands of miles away. You can't put ripe fruit in a truck and expect for it to be fresh when it arrives weeks later at your dinner table. So you have to pick it when it's ripe, but that is not happening. The nutrients are richest 48 hours before the food is ripe. So there is obviously nutrition missing. Number three, food is grown in nutrient-depleted soils. Most fertilizers contain 3 nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Yet the soil should have 55 minerals in it. So there is a big gap between those numbers. If it's not in our soils, then it's not in our bodies. Maybe you don't agree with that. Maybe you live down the street from a garden. Maybe you eat all organic. Well, you cannot deny number 4, that we are in the most toxic environment we've ever lived. 80,000 new chemicals introduced since World War II. So we need more nutrients today than we did 100 years ago. Chemicals are found in our air, our water, and our food. It would take us to eat 9 oranges to get the same vitamins and nutrients it took our grandparents to get out of just 1 orange. So there is less nutrients and there are more chemicals today than ever before. So are supplements a luxury or are they a necessity? Let's take a look. You would have to eat 28.8 pounds of spinach to get the recommended vitamin E per day. And I don't know about you, I love spinach as much as Popeye, but I don't think I can eat that much spinach. Are supplements created equally? You can see some names you recognize here of popular retailers that were tested and failed to meet their claims. I'm going to read just the bottom sentence for you. In pills labeled ginkgo biloba, the agency found only rice, asparagus, and spruce, an ornamental plant commonly used for Christmas decorations. So I don't know about you, but I don't want to eat my Christmas tree. Consumer Lab is a third-party company that identifies the best quality in health and nutritional products through independent testing. So let's take a look for yourself, and I am sure you're going to recognize some of these companies. Consumer Lab analyzed 38 multivitamins. Out of those 38, 13 failed testing. The products contained inaccurate labeling, they didn't dissolve, and they contained contaminants like lead. And I don't want to throw any of them under the bus, but a lot of those, 1 through 13, I'm sure that you can recognize. Here is a great book that rates all the vitamins. It is called The Comparative Guide to Nutritional Supplements. Lyle McWilliam did a study of over 1,600 companies all across North America. It rated USANA with 5 gold medals of achievement for over 10 years. Here are just a handful that might stand out to you. On a 5-star rating, you could see they scored very poorly. So do you think they follow food GMPs or drug GMPs? Those half stars, I believe, are generous. They're getting 1 star, and that is with the food GMP label, which means they cannot guarantee what is on the label is in the bottle. USANA uses quality raw materials, they have quality manufacturing, they offer a 100% potency and purity guarantee, and they have third-party validations. They are taken by hundreds of elite athletes. This is the company that came into my life back in 2013. We had been introduced by a family member who was actually about to open up a GNC until he did the research and found the market to be unregulated. So my husband and I decided to give the products a try, and we began taking the supplements, and our results were undeniable. Our health drastically changed. Here we are back in 2016, visiting USANA headquarters and manufacturing facility with over 60 scientists and doctors on staff in Salt Lake City, Utah. The flags represent the over 20 countries where we are sold. USANA's manufacturing is second to none. It was amazing to walk through the facilities and see how the products were made. The attention to detail, the uncompromising standard, the commitment to quality gives me the utmost confidence in taking and giving USANA products to my kids, my family, and sharing it with others. So it is imperative that you take your multivitamin twice a day. Here are the essentials. Most vitamins are water soluble, which means they dissolve into your bloodstream. Your body uses what it needs and excretes what it doesn't need. Some vitamins are fat soluble, which means your body can store them, like A, D, E, and K. Most are water soluble, and so we need to replenish our nutrients and give our cells what they need. If you take antioxidants by themselves, they are not effective. So the green bottle, the mega antioxidant, represents the soldiers going into battle. Soldiers fight the free radicals. The blue bottle on the right, the chelated mineral, is the food and water for the soldiers. It provides regeneration for the antioxidants. They are designed to be taken together to have a symphony and synergistic effect. So a good balanced multivitamin needs to meet certain levels of drug GMPs, and you have to take them twice a day. For $1.75 a day, your cells are getting the nutrients they need that I know we are missing from the food that we eat today. I want to talk to you a little bit about RDA versus optimal levels for a minute. So the RDA, or the recommended daily allowance, was established in the 1940s. It was determined how much they would give the soldiers who went to war to prevent scurvy and rickets due to low levels of vitamin C. It was minimal amounts. The RDA hasn't changed since World War II. That is over 70 years ago. Think of all the things in our lives that have changed since then. The quality of our food is not the same. Everything is mass-produced with more chemicals, and it takes longer to get to our plate. We are not getting the amount of nutrients in our food that we got 70 years ago. So here is an analogy of the lawn. Which would you rather have? They are both alive, but one is thriving and the other is obviously not. The bottom line is we need higher levels than what was recommended 70 years ago. So you would have to eat approximately 22,000 calories and spend more than $33 per day to get the same amount of nutrients found in a daily dose of essentials. Now, when you go to the bathroom, don't be surprised when you see neon yellow. That is natural, that is normal. It is the riboflavin, which is the vitamin B2 in the vitamins. This to me is my added health insurance. If I am not getting what I need through my food, whether it's biotin or vitamin E, I know that I am getting it here. I want my cells to have everything they need. not just to live, but to thrive. Here is something that's really alarming. So here's the apple test. We spoke about how guacamole or an apple left on a table will turn brown and begin to oxidize. The apple in these 2 cups represents oxidation. If your vitamin is working, it should prevent the apple from turning brown. It should prevent it from oxidizing. Here is the USANA Mega Antioxidant, and the one next to it is Centrum Multivitamin. I don't know about you, but I certainly do not want my cells to look black and gray. Centrum is not following drug GMPs. They use petroleum, a crude oil, as a binding agent, and the petroleum binded to the apple and turned it black. So is Centrum better than nothing? No, I would rather you not take anything at all than take Centrum. And take a look at the prenatal vitamins. That is just a crime to me. I cannot believe that they have these vitamins on the shelves in our stores. You need to be very cautious when choosing vitamins. If you are a parent out there and you have your kids on Flintstones vitamins, toss them in the trash. There are so many harmful chemicals out there. You need to be aware of what you are taking and what you are giving your family. Here are some of the childhood supplements. We have prenatals, we have vitamins for young children, and we have vitamins for teens. Research shows that children during their early development possess sensitive windows for nutritional programming. Dietary patterns established during their early years will imprint long-term consequences. So it's really important what you are giving your family. I cannot stress that enough. So for only $4.29 a day, the Health Pack is the #1 flagship product USANA has. It contains the USANA Essentials, which is the multivitamin. It contains active calcium, which is a core optimizer. And calcium is an important mineral in muscle contraction. We all know that it's important for your bones and teeth, but what people don't know is how important it is for muscles and for the pH balance of your body. It also includes USANA's AO Booster, which is an added antioxidant protection. And it comes conveniently in the AM and PM pillow pack, so you don't need to have all those bottles cluttering your kitchen cabinets anymore. Here's something that's really cool that we can do. We can customize your vitamins. So it can be customized to fit your needs. Here are mine and my husband's customized pack with our names on them. I gotta tell you, I feel better than ever. I want to improve with each and every day, and it isn't about surviving, it's about being optimal. At the bottom are the vitamins our boys take every day, the Body Rocks and the Biomega, which is our fish oil that is mercury-free and double distilled for purity. It is one of the most amazing products that we have. So let's talk about time commitment. Your cells duplicate themselves. They actually say most have duplicated within 6 months. Every single cell needs to be impacted by vitamins. I tell people you have to give it at least 6 months. So check out this physician's statement. It takes between 6 to 12 months to replenish any nutritional deficiency and optimize the body's natural immune system, antioxidant defense system, and repair system. If you are over 30 years of age or already have a chronic degenerative disease, it may take even longer. This is why I stress over and over that you need to give nutritional supplementation a minimum of 6 months, or even better, a year, before you evaluate the benefits. When my patients tell me that they will try using my recommended supplements for a month, I tell them not to even start. If you're not willing to try my recommendations for at least 6 months, you should not even begin. So 6 to 12 month commitment, that is what you need to give these products. The optimizers. The optimizers are customizable nutritional regimens addressing individual needs depending on what you need. So here's a picture of me. My knees and arches have lots of running miles on them. In my 20s, while training for my first marathon, doctors told me I had chondromalacia in my knees and plantar fasciitis in my arches. They told me to stop running and give up my training and goal of running 26.2 miles. Having logged many miles, 7 months of training, and running for a 9-year-old girl who suffered from leukemia, nothing was going to stop me from crossing that finish line. But I ran with excruciating pain. Patella straps wrapped around my knees. As you can see, the straps would keep falling and end up around my ankles. I must have spent 6 months going to physical therapy, acupuncture, and rolling my aching arches over frozen water bottles. It wasn't until I started taking USANA's Precosa that I found relief and was able to run again pain-free. This product has really changed my life, and it is just great for joint health. I want to talk to you really quickly about the probiotics because I absolutely love them. I have everybody in my house, including my 2 boys, taking the probiotics. It is so important for your gut health. I just love it. They are high quality with different strains that can survive the acidic environment of your stomach. I put it directly on my tongue, or I stir it in the morning in my morning protein shake after I've blended it. My kids absolutely love the taste. They say it tastes like a sugar cookie, and they always ask me for more. All of your food is absorbed in your gut, so your gut health is crucial. It is also known as the second brain. And here's a pretty interesting fact that not many people know. 80% of your immune system starts in your gut, and 95% of your serotonin starts in your gut. So needless to say, we really want our gut to be healthy so that the rest of our body and cells can really thrive physically and mentally. USANA is also trusted by over 700 Olympic and elite athletes around the world and is used by them as their trusted source of optimal nutrition. So Dr. Wentz is somebody I would like to introduce you to. We all know who Dr. Oz is, the man on the left, but Dr. Wentz, the man on the right, is the key reason that Belief Health Team partnered up with USANA. He has a PhD in microbiology and immunology. You can look him up. USANA is publicly traded, and they are very public about everything they do. He opened Gall Laboratories in the 1970s, and he studied infectious diseases and invented the Epstein-Barr virus test kit. It's what they test mono for and continue to do so today. He won the Albert Einstein Award for being the leading scientist in keeping human cells alive in a petri dish for over 20 years. This doctor kept human cells alive in a petri dish for over 20 years at optimal levels. That is just a miracle to me. So USANA means true health in Greek. This man is a scientist, not a businessman, so this company is science-based. And I want to read to you this quote by Dr. Wentz. We are living too short and dying too long. So sure, people are living longer and longer these days, but they are not living optimally. They are not living healthy. They are suffering, and they are spending all their hard-earned retirement money on drugs and medication. So we want to talk preventative health. USANA was the first company to subject itself to the same standards as pharmaceuticals. So to have quality control, USANA makes its products in-house in their FDA-registered facility in Salt Lake City, Utah, which is where I got a chance to visit in 2016. So it is not run by businessmen in business suits. It is run by scientists in lab coats. So commit yourself to 6 to 12 months. You will become a preferred customer for free and get 20% off wholesale discount for auto order, which is part of our loyalty program. So talk to the person who invited you to this webinar or take a free health assessment here at www.beliefhealthteam.usana.com. I want to leave you with the 6 pillars of health. So exercise at least 4 to 5 times a week. Get a good night's sleep, 7 to 8 hours or more. Meditate, pray, spend some quiet time taking in some oxygen. Eat low glycemic foods, drink lots and lots of water, and take a good supplement. I hope this has been beneficial for you. USANA truly is an amazing company. I am not a physician, and I am not giving you medical advice. I am giving you suggestions. I cannot claim that USANA will treat or cure disease, but I do believe if we give ourselves what they need, we can boost our God-given immune system to function optimally. Each and every one of you have a body designed by God that is amazing. I hope you realize and cherish the body that you have. You only get one body. Don't compromise.